Hey guys, welcome to Starbound. In today's episode, we have a very special feature. None other than President Trump, who has been contacted from outer space to save Earth. Will he do it? Can he do it? Stick around to find out.
The gleaming spires of New Washington pierce the amber sky of Mars, a testament to humanity's relentless expansion into the cosmos. Inside the United Planetary Defense Headquarters, a hush fell over the assembled dignitaries as the doors swung open. Donald Trump strode into the chamber, his signature red tie contrasting sharply with the sleek, futuristic surroundings. Thank you very much," he began, taking his place at the podium. "Folks, we're going to do great things in space, believe me." A murmur of anticipation spread through the crowd. The newly appointed commander of United Planetary Defense surveyed the room, his face set in determined expression. "We have tremendous people working on our space program. Really smart people. And let me tell you, we're going to need them, because there are some very serious problems out there. Very serious." As Trump continued his speech outlining his plans to make Earth safe again and expand human influence in the galaxy, his chief of staff, a stern-faced woman named Dr. Alara Chen, discreetly checked her holopad. Her eyes widened as she read the incoming message. "Commander," she whispered urgently, approaching Trump. "We have a situation." Trump paused, glancing at Dr. Chen. "Excuse me, folks. I have to take care of some very important business. Very important. We'll be back, don't worry." In the Situation Room, holographic displays lit up one after the other, showing a massive object hurtling through space towards the colony on Kepler 186f, humanity's farthest outpost. Trump leaned in, squinting at the display. "What is that? Some kind of alien thing?" Dr. Chen cleared her throat. Sir, our initial scan suggests it's a weapon of unknown origin. It's on a direct course for Kepler colony, and as its current speed, it'll reach them in less than 72 hours. Trump's face grew serious. "A weapon? That's not good. Not good at all. We gotta stop it, and we will stop it." "Sir," interjected General Zhao, a grizzled veteran of the Martian Wars, "we don't have the firepower to take on something of that size. Our best option might be to evacuate the colony." Trump shook his head. "Evacuate? No. We won't do that. Americans don't run. We win." He turned to Dr. Chen. "Get me the best team we have. The best. I want humans. I want friendly aliens. I want the smartest robots. Whatever it takes to beat this thing." As the room erupted into frantic activity, Trump stood still, his gaze fixed on the holographic image of the mysterious object. For a moment, the confidence in his demeanor wavered, replaced by a glimmer of genuine concern. "We're gonna win this one," he said, his voice slow but firm. "We have to win." The next 24 hours saw a flurry of activity throughout the solar system. As news of the impending threat spread, Earth's finest minds and most capable warriors answered the call. In the Grand Assembly Hall of the UPD headquarters, Trump paced back and forth, his face filled with anticipation and concern. Dr. Chen stood nearby, reviewing holographic dossiers of the incoming team members. "They're here, sir," she announced as the door slid open. Trump turned, his eyes widening as he took in the diverse group entering the room. "Now that's what I call a team. A beautiful team. The best." At the forefront was Captain Zara Vega, a decorated human veteran of the European conflict. Her cybernetic eye glowed faintly as she saluted. "Reporting for duty, Commander." Behind her, the massive form of Kathok, a Centaurian warrior, ducked to fit through the doorway. His forearms were adorned with ceremonial battle scars. "The Centaurian Empire stands with Earth," he rumbled. Dr. Jin Li, Earth's leading xenotechnologist, hurried in next, her arms full of data pads. "Commander, been analyzing the object's energy signatures. It's nothing like we've ever seen." The team was rounded out by Synth IA, a cutting-edge AI housed in a sleek humanoid body, and Rigel, a Proximan diplomat known for his unparalleled skills in interspecies communication. Trump nodded approvingly.
Okay, folks, let's get down to business. We've got a very bad situation, very bad, but we're gonna fix it, because that's what we do.
He gestured to the holographic display of the mysterious object.
This thing, whatever it is heading straight for our colony, our people, and we're not gonna let it get there.
Captain Vega stepped forward. Sir, what's our plan of action? Trump turned to Dr. Chen.
Tell them what we know.
Dr. Chen nodded, pulling up more detailed holograms. The object is approximately 50 kilometers in length. It's emitting energy signatures that suggest highly advanced technology. Our long-range scans have been unable to penetrate its outer shell. Kathok growled.
Then we must strike hard and fast. The Centaurian fleet stands ready.
Hold on there, big guy,
Trump interjected.
We're not just gonna go in guns blazing. That's not how we do things. We're gonna be smart about this.
Dr. Lee spoke up, her voice excited. Commander, if we could get close enough, I might be able to interface with its systems. If it's an AI, as we suspect, we could potentially communicate with it. Cynthia's eyes flickered. I concur. My systems may be compatible enough to establish a connection. Trump nodded, a sly smile spreading across his face.
No, that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna talk to this thing. And let me tell you, nobody talks better than me. Nobody.
Rigel, the Proximan diplomat, stepped forward. Commander, with all due respect, perhaps a more nuanced approach might be advisable when attempting first contact with an unknown entity. Trump waved his hand dismissively.
Don't worry, spaceman. I've dealt with all kinds of aliens. Some bad hombres out there, let me tell you. But we always work it out.
He turned to address the entire team.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our fastest ship. We're gonna intercept this thing. And we're gonna show it that you don't mess with Earth. Any questions?
The room fell silent, each member of the team exchanging glances that mixed determination with a hint of apprehension.
Good,
Trump said, clapping his hands together.
Let's make space great again, people. We leave in 1 hour.
The UPD's flagship, the CSS Axiom, loomed in the Martian docking bay, its sleek hull gleaming under the harsh lights. As the strike team made final preparations, Trump stood at the base of the boarding ramp, hands on his hips, surveying the organized chaos around him.
Beautiful ship, isn't it? The best ship. I know ships, and this one, let me tell you, it's tremendous,
Trump remarked to no one in particular. Captain Vega approached, her cybernetic eye whirring as it focused on the commander. Sir, pre-flight checks are complete. We're ready for departure. Trump nodded.
Good. How long until we reach the thing?
At maximum velocity, approximately 36 hours, sir, Vega replied crisply.
Not bad at all. We'll be there in no time, ahead of schedule even,
Trump said, though no one had actually set a schedule. As the team began to board, Dr. Chen hurried over, her face etched with concern. Commander, a word? Trump stepped aside with her.
What is it? Make it quick. We've got a galaxy to save.
Sir, I really think you should reconsider going on this mission, Chen said, her voice low. The risk is...
Risk? Come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
Trump interrupted.
Besides, someone's got to be there to make the deal. And nobody makes deals like me.
Chen sighed, recognizing the futility of her argument. Very well, sir, but please be careful. Earth needs you.
Earth has me. Don't worry,
Trump assured her with a wink before turning to board the ship. Inside the Axiom, the team settled into their positions. Kathok barely fit in the oversized seat, specially designed for him, while Cynthia interfaced directly with the ship's systems. Dr. Lee was already buried in her data, muttering calculations under her breath. Trump took a seat near the front, swiveling to face the crew.
All right, folks, let's do this. It's gonna be great. You'll see.
As the engines roared to life, Rigel, the Proximan diplomat, leaned towards Trump. Commander, perhaps we should discuss our diplomatic approach when we encounter the object.
Listen, Rigel, was it? I've been making deals my whole life. Big deals. The best deals. This'll be no different," Trump assured him.
The ship lifted off smoothly, accelerating rapidly as it broke through Mars's thin atmosphere. As the red planet shrank behind them, the vastness of space opened up before the view screen.
"Wow, would you look at that? It's huge. So much space. No wonder they call it space,"
Trump mused, genuinely awed despite himself. Captain Vega's voice cut through the moment. "Sir, we're detecting an anomaly. Something's following us." Trump spun around.
"Following us? What is it? Is it the Russians?"
"Unknown, sir," Vega replied, her fingers dancing over the controls. "It's small, fast, and it's matching our every move." Cathok growled, reaching for his weapon.
A spy drone, perhaps. We should destroy it."
"Hold on, big fella,"
Trump said, raising a hand.
"Let's not be too hasty. Synthia, can you get a visual?"
The AI's eyes flickered. "Affirmative, Commander. Putting it on screen now." The view screen shifted, showing a small, sleek object trailing the Axiom. Its surface seemed to shimmer almost as if it wasn't fully there. Dr. Lee gasped. "That technology, it's beyond anything I've ever seen." Trump leaned forward, squinting at the screen.
Doesn't look so tough. Probably made in China."
Rigel cleared his throat. "Commander, I believe this may be our first contact with the intelligence behind the larger object. We should proceed with utmost caution." Trump nodded, a glint in his eye.
"Oh, we'll be cautious, all right. But we'll also be strong. Very strong. Captain, open a channel. Let's say hello to our little friend."
As Captain Vega prepared to hail the mysterious follower, tension filled the bridge. The first move in this cosmic chess game was about to be made, and the fate of Earth hung in the balance. The tension on the bridge of the CSS Axiom was palpable as Captain Vega opened the communication channel. Trump cleared his throat, straightened his tie, and leaned towards the comm system.
"This is Donald Trump, Commander of Earth's United Planetary Defense. We come in peace, but let me tell you, we're also very tough, very strong, so don't try anything funny."
For a moment, there was nothing but static. Then, a voice unlike anything they'd ever heard filled the bridge. It was melodic, yet mechanical, as if a symphony orchestra had learned to speak.
"Greetings, humans of Earth. We have been observing your approach. Your bravery is noted."
Trump grinned, shooting a triumphant look at his team.
"See? They love us already. I told you I'm good at this."
Rigel the diplomat stepped forward, his antenna twitching nervously. "Perhaps we should inquire about their intentions, Commander."
Right, Trump nodded. "So what's the deal with that big space thing you're sending to our colony? Not very neighborly, if you ask me."
There was a pause before the voice responded.
"The object you referred to is not a weapon, but a test. A test your species must pass if you wish to join the greater galactic community."
Trump's eyebrows shot up.
"A test? Listen, I've taken a lot of tests in my life. I've aced them all. Just ask anyone."
Dr. Lee interjected, her voice filled with excitement. "Commander, this is unprecedented. They're offering us a chance to prove ourselves on a cosmic scale." Cathok growled low in his throat.
It could be a trap. We should prepare for battle."
The alien voice spoke again.
"Your suspicion is understandable, Centaurian warrior, but we assure you, our intentions are not hostile. We seek only to evaluate your species' readiness."
Trump leaned back in his chair, a sly smile spreading across his face.
"Readiness, huh? Well, let me tell you, we're the readiest. Earth is ready for anything you can throw at us. We're going to ace your test, and we're going to do it ahead of schedule and under a budget."
Synthia's eyes flickered rapidly. "Commander, I'm detecting a massive energy surge from the larger object. It's changing course." On the view screen, they watched as the enormous cylindrical shape that had been hurtling towards Kepler colony suddenly pivoted, aligning itself with the Axiom's trajectory.
"Looks like they want to meet face to face,"
Trump mused.
"Good. I always prefer to make deals in person."
Captain Vega's voice was tense. "Sir, at our current course and speed, we'll rendezvous with the object in approximately 12 hours." Trump nodded, his expression uncharacteristically serious.
All right, folks. We've got 12 hours to figure out how to pass this test. And let me tell you, we're gonna pass it like nobody ever passed a test before.
He turned to his team.
Dr. Lee, I want you and scifi working on cracking their tech. Kathok, get our defenses ready, just in case. Rigel, start putting together some kind of, I don't know, space diplomacy thing.
As the team dispersed to their tasks, Trump remained in his chair staring at the looming shape on the view screen. For a moment, a flicker of doubt crossed his face, quickly replaced by his usual confident grin.
Get ready, Space, he muttered to himself. Trump's coming to town.
As the CSS Axiom drew closer to the massive alien object, the mood on board grew increasingly tense. The bridge was full of activity, with each team member focused intently on their tasks. Dr. Lee and scifi were huddled over a console, rapidly exchanging data and theories. Kathok stood at the weapons station, his forearms flexing nervously as he ran through combat simulations. Rigel was deep in meditation, preparing himself for the diplomatic challenge ahead. Trump paced back and forth, occasionally peering at the view screen where the alien object loomed ever larger.
How we doing, folks? Are we winning yet?
Dr. Lee looked up from her work, her eyes bright with excitement. Commander, we've made some fascinating discoveries. The object's outer shell is composed of a material that's, well, it's like nothing we've ever seen. It seems to be able to alter its molecular structure at will.
At will, huh? Trump mused. Sounds expensive. Very high-end stuff.
scifi's voice chimed in. Indeed, Commander. The level of technology we're observing is beyond our current understanding. However, we've detected what appears to be an access point. With your permission, I'd like to attempt to interface with it when we're in range. Trump nodded.
Do it, but be careful. We don't want any alien viruses. I've heard they're very nasty. The worst.
Captain Vega's voice cut through the chatter. Sir, we're approaching the rendezvous point. The alien object is slowing to match our speed.
All right, showtime,
Trump said, straightening his tie.
Let's show these aliens what Earth is made of.
As the Axiom drew alongside the colossal structure, its true scale became apparent. The ship, impressive in its own right, was dwarfed by the alien object, looking like a minnow next to a whale. Suddenly, a beam of shimmering energy shot out from the alien craft, enveloping the Axiom. We're being scanned, Captain Vega reported, her cybernetic eye whirring as she analyzed the data. No signs of harmful radiation, but, sir, they're probing our computer systems. Trump spun towards scifi.
Can they see my tax returns?
Before the AI could respond, the alien voice they had heard earlier filled the bridge once more.
Your vessels have been temporarily integrated into our systems. Please prepare for transfer.
Transfer? Now wait just a minute,
Trump began, but his words were cut short as blinding light engulfed the bridge. When the light faded, the team found themselves standing in a vast circular chamber. The walls pulsed enigmatically, and in the center stood a being that defied description. A swirling mass of light and color that somehow managed to convey a sense of ancient wisdom and power. Trump, recovering quickly, stepped forward.
Nice place you've got here. Very modern. I'm in real estate, you know. I could hook you up with some great deals on planets.
The being's form shimmered, and a voice resonated not in their ears, but in their minds.
Welcome, representatives of Earth. You stand at a crossroads. The test begins now.
Trump grinned, spreading his arms wide.
Bring it on, spaceman. We're gonna ace this test, and then we'll negotiate. And let me tell you, I write the best deals. The best.
As the alien presence seemed to consider Trump's words, the rest of the team exchanged nervous glances. Whatever this test was, it was clear that the fate of Earth hung in the balance, and they were about to face a challenge unlike any humanity had encountered before. The alien chamber resonated with energy as the entity's voice reverberated through their minds.
Your first trial is wisdom. You must prevent a war that could annihilate 2 civilizations.
In an instant, the team found themselves on an alien world teetering on the brink of apocalypse. 2 species, one crystalline and one gaseous, faced each other across a vast battlefield. The air crackled with tension and the hum of advanced weaponry.
You have one planetary rotation to find a solution, the alien voice warned. Failure means the extinction of both races.
Trump surveyed the scene, his usual confidence wavering slightly.
This doesn't look good, folks. Not good at all.
Dr. Lee frantically analyzed data on her pad. The crystalline species controls the planet's water, while the gaseous species produces essential nutrients. They're completely codependent, but a resource dispute has brought them to this point. As the team debated strategies, alarms blared. The gaseous species had launched the first attack, their weapons turning crystalline beings into dust. "We're running out of time," Vega shouted, her cybernetic eye scanning the battlefield. Trump stepped forward, his face set with determination.
"We need to talk to them, both of them, right now."
Using the alien technology at their disposal, Trump's voice was amplified across the battlefield.
"Listen up, both of you. You're making a big mistake here, a very big mistake."
The fighting paused, all eyes and sensory organs turning to the strange newcomers. Trump continued, finding his rhythm.
"Look, you both need each other. It's like a business deal gone bad. But instead of walking away, you're trying to blow each other up. That's not smart. Believe me, I know smart."
He turned to Dr. Lee.
"Doc, tell them what happens if they keep this up."
Dr. Lee stepped forward, her voice trembling slightly. "If this war continues, both of your species will die. The crystalline beings will lose their nutrient supply, and the gaseous beings will lose their water source. It's mutually assured destruction." For the next several hours, the team worked feverishly. Lee and Synthia designed an automated resource exchange network. Rigel negotiated terms with both species, his diplomatic skills pushed to their limits. Cathok and Vega worked on disarming key weapons to prevent any rash actions. As the planet's sun began to set, marking the end of their allocated time, the leaders of both species met not on a battlefield, but at a negotiation table. Trump watched as they signed the peace accord, a complex web of trade agreements and mutual defense pacts.
"See? Making deals. That's how you solve problems. Not with these fancy space guns."
Just as the leaders shook appendages, sealing the agreement, the alien voice returned.
Unconventional yet effective. You have passed the trial of wisdom.
The team let out a collective sigh of relief. Trump nodded, a mix of exhaustion and satisfaction on his face.
"One down, folks, but something tells me the others won't be this easy."
As the alien world faded around them, returning them to the chamber, the team exchanged nervous glances. They had passed the first trial, but the true tests of their courage and unity were yet to come. The chamber reformed, transforming into a nightmarish landscape. A swirling vortex of dark energy dominated the sky, its pull already affecting the very fabric of reality around them. The ground beneath their feet cracked and shifted, struggling to maintain cohesion in the face of the overwhelming force. The alien voice spoke, its tone grave.
The trial of courage demands sacrifice. The vortex will consume this reality unless one of you ventures into its heart to deactivate it. The journey will almost certainly be fatal.
The team stood in shocked silence, the gravity of the situation sinking in. Captain Vega was the first to step forward, her cybernetic eye whirring as it analyzed the vortex. "I'll go. My enhancements give me the best chance of survival."
Cathok growled, pushing past her. No, my Centaurian physiology is more adaptable. I should be the one."
As the team argued, Trump stood silently, his eyes fixed on the swirling chaos above. The others fell quiet as they noticed his uncharacteristic demeanor.
"No,"
Trump said, his voice unexpectedly soft.
"I'll do it."
The team erupted in protests, but Trump held up his hand.
"Listen, folks, I'm the commander here. I can't ask any of you to do something I wouldn't do myself. That's not leadership. That's not how we do things."
Dr. Lee stepped forward, her face pale. "Sir, the chances of survival they're not good." Trump nodded, a wry smile on his face.
"I've beaten the odds before, Doc. Many times. This is just another big bet."
Before anyone could stop him, Trump strode toward the vortex. The wind whipped violently, nearly knocking him off his feet. He looked back at his team one last time, giving them a thumbs up.
If I don't make it back, tell them we made space great again.
With that, he stepped into the maelstrom. The vortex's pull was immediate and brutal. Trump felt like he was being torn apart at a molecular level. Through the pain, he pushed forward, fighting against the crushing darkness. His thoughts raced, a lifetime of deals, victories, and defeats flashing before his eyes. In the eye of the storm, he found a pulsing core of energy. With the last of his strength, he reached out to deactivate it. As his hand touched the core, a blinding light erupted, engulfing him completely. Outside, the team watched in horror as the vortex collapsed in on itself. There was no sign of Trump. Seconds stretched into minutes, the silence broken only by the fading rumble of the collapsing vortex. Suddenly, a figure stumbled out of the dissipating energy. It was Trump, his suit in tatters, his hair wilder than ever, but very much alive.
Now that, he gasped, falling to his knees, was something else.
The team rushed to support him as the alien voice returned, a note of surprise in its tone.
Unexpected courage from an unexpected source. You have passed the second trial.
As they helped their battered leader to his feet, the team knew that the final challenge would test them like never before. But for now, they allowed themselves a moment of relief, having witnessed the side of their commander they had never knew existed. The chamber transformed once more, this time into a vast, ever-shifting labyrinth. Walls of pure energy hummed with deadly power, rearranging themselves constantly. The air crackled with tension, and an oppressive force seemed to push down on them from all sides.
The trial of unity requires perfect cooperation, the alien voice explained. You must reach the center together. Each of you is vital. One misstep means failure or death.
Trump, still weakened from the previous trial, straightened up.
All right, folks. We've come too far to fail now. Let's do this.
They entered the maze cautiously. At the first junction, they encountered a barrier of complex, multidimensional equations floating in the air. Dr. Lee's eyes widened. I can solve this, but it'll take time we don't have.
Then we buy you time,
Cathok growled, as he and Vega took defensive positions against approaching energy constructs that seemed to have a malevolent intelligence of their own. Synthie's eyes flickered. I can interface directly with Dr. Lee's pad. It should accelerate the calculations. As Lee and Synthie worked feverishly on the equations, Cathok and Vega fought off wave after wave of energy beams. Rigel used his diplomatic skills to try and communicate with the constructs, seeking to slow their assault. Trump, despite his exhaustion, provided insights that surprised everyone. His unorthodox thinking helped break through mental blocks that even Lee and Synthie struggled with.
You're overthinking it,
he said, pointing at a section of the equation.
Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. Believe me, I know.
They pressed on, facing challenge after challenge. Rigel's diplomacy diffused sentient traps that sought to turn the team against each other. Cathok's strength forged paths through seemingly impossible barriers. Vega's tactical mind helped navigate the ever-changing layout, predicting shifts before they happened. As they neared the center, exhausted and pushed to their limits, they faced a chasm of swirling chaos, impossible to cross. The far side tantalizingly displayed their goal, a pulsing energy core.
We can't give up now,
Trump wheezed, his determination unbroken.
Everyone, join hands. Trust me on this.
As they linked together, doubt clear on their faces, a bridge of pure light began to form beneath their feet. It was born from their combined will and unity, solidifying with each step they took together. They stepped into the central chamber just as the maze began to collapse around them. The alien presence materialized, its energy pulsing with what felt like approval.
You have succeeded where many have failed. Earth has proven itself ready.
The team, battered but triumphant, shared looks of disbelief and pride. They had been tested to their very limits and emerged stronger for it. Trump, leaning heavily on Cathok for support, managed a tired smile.
We did it, folks. We really did it.
As the team basked in their success, the alien presence began to shift and coalesce. The swirling energy took on a more defined form, resembling a tall, luminescent being with multiple appendages and eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies.
You have proven yourselves worthy,
The being's voice resonated in their minds.
Now we shall reveal the true purpose of this test.
Trump stepped forward, his brow furrowed.
True purpose? What do you mean? We passed your test fair and square.
The alien being's form shimmered, almost as if it was nodding.
Indeed you did, but the test was more than just a measure of your abilities. It was a safeguard.
Dr. Lee's eyes widened. A safeguard? Against what?
Against us,
the alien replied.
or rather, against the potential threat we pose to developing civilizations like yours.
The team exchanged confused glances. Rigel spoke up, his diplomatic training kicking in. I don't understand. You tested us to protect yourselves from us? The alien's form pulsed with what could only be described as amusement.
No, young ones. We tested you to protect you from us.
Trump's eyes narrowed.
Protect us? Listen, we can protect ourselves just fine. We've got the best military, the best weapons.
Your weapons would be useless against us,
the alien stated matter-of-factly.
Our civilization is millions of years ahead of yours. We could have conquered your world with ease, had we wished to.
A tense silence fell over the group. Cathoc's hands instinctively moved towards his weapons.
But we do not wish to conquer,
the alien continued.
Long ago, we learned the importance of fostering growth in younger species, rather than exploiting them. This test was designed to ensure that we only reveal ourselves to species ready for the knowledge of our existence.
Cynthia's eyes flickered rapidly as she processed this information. Fascinating. You're saying that if we had failed the test, you would have simply left us alone?
Precisely,
the alien confirmed.
We would have retreated, leaving your civilization to develop on its own until you were ready.
Trump ran a hand through his hair, looking somewhat bewildered.
So, what happens now? We passed your test. We're ready. Ready for what exactly?
The alien's form seemed to expand, filling the chamber with a soft, warm light.
Now, you join us. Earth will be welcomed into the Galactic Federation, a coalition of species dedicated to mutual growth, exploration, and the preservation of life throughout the universe.
As the implications of this statement sank in, the team's expressions ranged from awe to excitement to apprehension. Trump, for one, seemed at a loss for words. After a moment, he squared his shoulders and met the alien's gaze.
All right, let's talk about this Galactic Federation. I've got some ideas about how Earth can contribute. We've got a lot to offer, you know. A lot.
The alien's form shimmered again, this time with what could only be described as warmth.
Indeed you do, Donald Trump of Earth. Indeed you do. Let us begin.
As the alien started to outline the wonders and responsibilities that awaited Earth in this new galactic era, the team listened intently, their minds racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. They had come seeking to protect Earth, and in doing so, had opened the door to a future beyond their wildest dreams. The return journey to Earth was filled with excitement and apprehension. As the CSS Axiom approached the familiar blue marble, the weight of their responsibility settled on the team's shoulders. Trump stood at the view screen, his usual bravado tempered by the magnitude of what they were about to announce.
You know, folks, I've made some big deals in my life, huge deals, but this is something else.
Captain Vega nodded, her cybernetic eye whirring as she took in the view of Earth. It's gonna change everything, sir. As they entered Earth's atmosphere, global sensors picked up their arrival. By the time they landed, a crowd of world leaders, scientists, and media had gathered. Trump stepped out first, followed by the rest of the team. The crowd fell silent, sensing the gravity of the moment.
My fellow Earthlings,
Trump began, his voice carrying across the hushed gathering.
We've got some big news. Big news. The biggest.
Over the next hour, the team took turns explaining their journey, the trials they faced, and the revelation of Earth's new place in the galactic community. As they spoke, the crowd's reactions shifted from disbelief to awe to cautious optimism. Dr. Lee stepped forward, her eyes shining with excitement. The scientific advancements we'll have access to are beyond our current comprehension. We stand at the dawn of a new age of discovery. Kathok growled in agreement.
And with new allies, Earth's security in the cosmos is assured.
Rigel added,
The diplomatic implications are staggering. We'll be forming relationships with species we've never even imagined.
As the reality sank in, questions began flying. How soon would Earth see these changes? What would this mean for the economy, for politics, for daily life? Trump held up his hands.
Look, I know you've got questions. Lots of questions. You've got a lot to figure out. But let me tell you, this is going to be great for Earth. Really great.
In the days and weeks that followed, the world was a flurry of activity. Global leaders convened to discuss Earth's approach to this new galactic role. Scientists eagerly awaited the influx of new knowledge, and everyday citizens looked to the stars with a new sense of wonder and possibility. 6 months later, as the first official Earth embassy prepared to launch to the Galactic Federation's headquarters, Trump stood once again before a global audience.
You know, when I became commander of United Planetary Defense, I promised to make Earth great. I didn't know just how great we'd become.
He paused, looking up at the stars.
We've got challenges ahead, big challenges. But we've shown the galaxy what Earth can do, and believe me, we're just getting started.
As the embassy's ships lifted off, carrying Earth's first permanent representatives to the galactic community, a sense of unity swept across the planet. For perhaps the first time in history, humanity looked to the future not as separate nations, but as a single species taking its place among the stars. The team that had faced those first trials together, watching the ship disappear into the night sky, they exchanged glances, each remembering the journey that had brought them to this moment. Trump nodded, a rare look of humble pride on his face.
We did it, folks. We really did it.
And as Earth took its first steps into a larger universe, the future stretched out before them, filled with endless possibilities.